So I'm not in the building, as you all are aware, but I really wanted to walk you through the instructions for this week for what you should be handling. So please pay attention as I go through the peer review process and where to find things. So everything's laid out the same. So here we are in the week 9 folder, and you'll see two plans. Like literally, if you click open the main folder, you'll see both plans on the main page. And it's just one slide for each day that lays out what the plans are. So today, I want to talk to you about Tuesday, October 17th. So here you'll see there are two steps. The first step is the peer review. The second step are the revisions. All right. So as a reminder, your rough draft is due officially today. And I apologize if you were looking for feedback from me. Things have been really busy trying to um, get ready for my surgery that's on the 17th, and I haven't had a time to look at any of your rough drafts. So this peer review process will be extremely important. All right, so let's talk about what that looks like. I'm going to go back into the main folder and actually open up the assignment because I have actually given you the document. You're not going to make a copy of it, but I do feel that it's pretty self-explanatory and it's due officially on Friday. I figured you might need today and Friday to finalize things. With the peer review process, I'm hoping that 45 minutes or 35 after you watch this video is enough time for this. So you'll see the instructions, but I really want to actually open up the document itself, which looks like this. So that way it's clear on how you're filling this out because I didn't get to talk to you about this beforehand. So it is based on the full rubric. So if you want to look at the full rubric to help guide you with this, I have included the link right here in the document for you. So just open it up and use it as a resource. Now there's two sets of instructions here. There's the author instructions and then the reviewer instructions. So if you are the author, you have just opened this document up. You need to do several things as the author. You are going to ask someone to read and review your short story. Then you will share this document with your reviewer through the share setting on here. You will also need to share your story. So make sure that your story is set to anyone can view it. All right. They do not need editing credentials unless you want them to make comments, but it is not a requirement to make comments in the actual document. Once the review is complete as the author, you need to review the feedback. So we'll talk more about that in a moment. Now, if you are the reviewer, I want you to type your name in this space once you have been given this document. Then you're going to read the story. And as you read the story, you'll complete each section of the review below. And each section, there are 4, is based on the narrative rubric. So the first section is about content and analysis. This is about the overall story. So the plot. It's not about grammar, style, and it's not about narrative techniques. So you're not really looking at the sensory details or anything like that. You are focusing in on the plot of the story and the point of view of the story and the development of the characters. So down here in the center column, you have the met expectations, the grade level expectations from the rubric. So this is word for word what the rubric says your grade level expectations should be. Now, as you're reading the story, if you notice ways that they can improve their story, if they're not quite to the met expectations, then type it in. Type it in right here. If you notice that they have exceeded the expectations of the story and the writing of the story, like the setting, the conflict, the character development, then you'll type into this square how they have exceeded expectations. And be really thoughtful with this. You don't want to just say, I liked it. You don't want to say, this was horrible. Be critical in your analysis. And then give them some solid feedback on how they can improve the content of their story. All right, then scroll on down. Here's the narrative techniques. Now, this is the part of the rubric we have worked a lot with. This is the narrative techniques, the sensory details, the show versus tell. All of those things go into this part of the rubric and go into creating that vivid picture of the story. So, this is the how of the story. How did they show us all of the great things related to the story? So, how can they improve? Highlight how they are already meeting the expectation, and then also write down evidence that they've exceeded. And then again, give them specific feedback for how they can make improvements. Then we come down to the coherence section. This is about the way it looks. This is about making sure there's a conclusion. Remember, I told you beginning, middle, and end. No cliffhangers. And so this is all about the format, the organization. Remember, it needs to be an MLA format because it's a traditional narrative. So how can they improve? How are they exceeding? And also highlight how they met. And then again, provide actual tangible feedback for how they can improve this section. And then finally, we have everyone's favorite section, the control of conventions. That's the grammar. Did they use proper grammar? Now, if you have a story that has a specific dialect to it, where they're trying to create that image of a different language, take that into consideration when you are marking up this section. How can they improve? How are they meeting? And how are they exceeding expectations? And then you have 3 more questions to answer before returning the peer review to the student. Once you are done filling out your parts, let them know you're done so they can go in and answer their questions. So you will notice that as the author, you will have 2 other questions to answer. So make sure that you actually read the review, read what was written for the feedback, and then answer these 2 questions. Once you have finished that, then you're going to come back to your story and you're going to revise. It's super important that you don't forget this part of the plan, and that's the revision part. It is literally the most important part of the writing process. And so often students get bogged down in this idea that, oh, my story is perfect. I love my story the way it is. Well, as a writer, I am telling you that your story can always be improved on. No story is perfect at this stage when you've had a week to write it. Believe me, I understand. I'm a writer. So make sure that you actually make revisions. Do not skip the step. Then make sure that you turn in the review. Make sure that you turn in the rough draft. Don't forget those things. Now, what last minute things do I have to say? Oh, I know. If you're in Kinky Boots, break a leg. If you have any other performances going on, do a fantastic job, as I know you will. Juniors, please do the best that you can on the PSAT. Good luck with it. Seniors, enjoy your days off. I look forward to seeing you, and make sure that you come to class on Friday and look out for the next video in my series of surgical video instructions. Have a great day, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.